Hey guys, and thanks for clicking on my channel. In the last video, we talked a bit about my personal interest in Saab and where I was coming from with these series of videos. But today I would like to do a brief history on the company itself, Saab. I know there is a lot of information out there and certainly some other YouTube videos that cover this, so my overview will be brief. So anyway guys, welcome to the Classic Saab Guy. So Saab is a very different company now to how it began. It's now split off into a couple of subsidiary companies such as the Saab Group, which specialise in security and defence solutions globally. But we're going to talk about the Saab that we know that started as an aircraft manufacturer back in the late 1930s. So the company was founded in 1937 in the town of Trollhättan, Sweden, under the name Svenska Aeroplan Aktiebolaget, which is Swedish really for Swedish Aeroplane Incorporated. Due to supply problems leading up to World War II, the Swedish government turned to domestic development of military aircraft, and Saab took on the initiative. As the need for aircraft manufacture slowed down during the end of the war, and the demand for more personal transport became apparent, Saab saw the opportunity to diversify, and by 1945 had founded Saab Automobile and started developing a prototype car for the Swedish market. By late 1949, the Saab 9-2 was running off the production lines in Trollhättan, notably only available in the military green that was obviously surplus after the war. After a successful run of sales during the early 1950s, the 9-2 was redesigned, rebadged and relaunched as the Saab 9-3 in 1955, becoming the first three-cylinder Saab, and to also sport the now famous and iconic Saab grille. Soon there were high-performance and wagon variants known as the 9-4 and the 9-5 respectively. It's important to add that the then Saab 9-4 high-performance variant that was made for the lucrative American export market is actually now known as the Saab Sonic, with later versions being released in the late 60s and early 70s. But it was the 9-6 that became Saab's most popular and highest selling model at the time, being widely exported, including notable mechanical and safety features for the time. However, it was the launch of the Saab 9-9 in 1968 that really was a game changer for Saab in terms of being regarded as a serious car manufacturer. The 9-9 featured automotive innovations and became to define Saab for many years to come, with the wraparound windshield, self-repairing bumpers, side impact beams, and headlamp washers. After Saab merged with truck and bus manufacturer Scania Vabis in 1969, the Saab 9-9 range added a Combi Coupe model to the line in 1973. The first Saab to feature the now signature body style that carried over into what would eventually become the 9-9's replacement, the Saab 900. The Saab 900 became Saab's best-selling model to date. Nearly 1 million units were produced, 20% of those being the convertible model that were made solely at the Valmet plant in Finland. The Saab 900 is an iconic model. It's become to define Saab in many ways and has a huge cult following around the world. The mid-80s saw the launch of the Saab 9000 after a joint venture with Fiat to develop a new platform that went on to produce the Alfa Romeo 164, the Fiat Croma and the Lancia Thema. In 1989, the car division of Saab was restructured due to the investment of GM and investor RB. This essentially led to the development of a new Saab 900 that was a shared platform with the Opel Vectra at the time. When in 1997 Saab was celebrating 50 years as a Saab manufacturer, they decided to release a new model, the Saab 95, to take over the now aging 9000. Upon its release, it was noted that the Saab 95 was the first car not to have the Combi Coupe body style in 20 years. But soon there was a wagon variant introduced in 1999. At this time, the Saab 900 also received a facelift, with Saab claiming there was 1,000 changes under the hood, and it was rebadged as the Saab 9-3. At the turn of the millennium, GM continued to have influence in Saab's car design with the launch of the all-new Saab 9-3 in 2003. The new model was marketed as a sport sedan, and it also dropped the hatchback feature, which was common on Saab 900s and 9-3s up until that point. Financial troubles continued to plague Saab well into the mid-2000s, and with GM's bigger stake in the company, I guess this was the time that you could say that Saab truly lost control of its brand. When under GM's direction, the Subaru Impreza-based 92X and the Chevrolet Trailblazer-based 97X were launched onto the American market in 2005. Notably, they were both commercial failures. By 2008, GM started looking at the possibility of selling the brand, and in 2009, after Saab went into administration, the Swedish supercar company Koenigsegg and the Chinese car maker Beijing Automotive Industry Holding Company were in discussions to jointly purchase the brand. But when Koenigsegg pulled out at the last minute, it was actually the Chinese car maker that secured the rights to Saab's intellectual property and production materials for the Saab 9.3 and Saab 9.5. Dutch sports car company Spyker finally won the bid, and under its ownership released the GM Theta-based 9.4X and the second generation Saab 9.5. However, production was short-lived, as Saab continued to bleed money, and in 2011 production came to a halt. With Spyker unable to cover losses, and with further deals falling through, Saab went into bankruptcy and by 2012 was in full liquidation. So there you go, guys, there's my short and hopefully concise history of Saab. I do apologise for the way that I describe the 9.2 and the 9.3 and the 95, and I always get those mixed up. I know the models, but I always say them the wrong way. So I know that the earlier models were called like the 93 as opposed to the modern 9.3. Yeah, just apologies for that. So like I said, you could easily make a 2-hour long documentary on the history of Saab, but there's plenty of that already online. I just wanted to get a little brief overview out the way so that we can move on to the things at hand. So in the next videos, we're going to go a bit deeper into specific models. So join me next week for the Saab 9.9. Thanks for listening, guys, and see you again on the Classic Saab Guide.